3 psychological hacks for unbreakable discipline. You know that one person, the one who seems to have limitless motivation? They're up at 5 a.m. hitting the gym. They're crushing every goal they set. And they just don't quit. It's like they have a cheat code for life that you just don't. It's so easy to look at them and think, well, they were just born different. They have some bottomless well of willpower that I missed out on. So you try to copy them. You set that 5 a.m. alarm, but when it screams, you hit snooze. You buy the gym membership, but 2 weeks later, it's collecting dust. And every time you fall off, that familiar wave of guilt washes over you, reinforcing that little story you tell yourself. I'm just not a disciplined person. But here's the truth. It's not magic, and it's definitely not about having more willpower. Motivation is an emotion. It comes and goes. Relying on it is like trying to build a house on shifting sand. The people who seem to have unbreakable discipline aren't running on motivation. They've just mastered a few powerful psychological principles that make discipline their default setting. They stopped fighting against their own minds and instead rewired them to work for them. And today, I'm breaking down the top 3 of these hacks so you can stop forcing it and finally build discipline that actually lasts. These aren't feel-good platitudes. These are fundamental shifts in how you see your goals, your habits, and yourself. By the end of this, you'll have a real toolkit to build discipline that isn't just endured. It becomes automatic. Number 1. The identity shift. Stop doing. Start being. Alright, the first and most powerful hack is to completely reframe how you think about discipline. Most of us, when we try to build a new habit, we focus on the outcome. We say, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to write a book. The problem with that approach is it immediately puts you into a fight with yourself. You're forcing your current self, the one who loves sleeping in and watching Netflix, to do things that feel totally unnatural. It's a battle of you versus you, and it burns through willpower like crazy. And let's be honest, willpower is a finite resource. It's a muscle that gets exhausted. You can force yourself to the gym for a few days, but after a long, stressful day at work, that willpower muscle is shot. You'll skip the workout, feel guilty, and convince yourself you failed. This whole cycle of white-knuckling it, failing, and feeling ashamed is exactly why most resolutions crash and burn. You're trying to change your actions without changing the person performing them. The hack to break this cycle is what James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, calls identity-based habits. The idea is to shift your focus from what you want to achieve to who you wish to become. Instead of, I want to lose 20 pounds, you start with, I am a healthy person. Instead of, I want to write a book, it becomes, I am a writer. This isn't just a silly word game, it's a profound psychological shift. Your behaviors are almost always a reflection of your identity. So to change your behavior for good, you have to start believing new things about yourself. Think of it this way. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you wake up and go for a run, you're not just burning calories. You're casting a vote for your new identity as a runner. When you choose a salad over fries, you're casting a vote for being a healthy person. When you sit down and write one single page, you're casting a vote for being a writer. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is just to cast more votes for your new identity than your old one. You don't need to run a marathon on day 1. Just put on your running shoes and walk around the block. That's a vote. You don't need to write a chapter, just write 1 paragraph. That's a vote. These tiny wins are everything because they give your brain proof that you are, in fact, this new person. Does a healthy person need to be motivated to eat vegetables? Not really. They just do it because that's who they are. Does an athlete need to be convinced to train? No, because skipping a workout would feel like it goes against their very identity. When your behavior aligns with your identity, it stops feeling like a chore. It just becomes a natural expression of who you are. So, how do you start? First, decide who you want to be, and be specific. Don't just say, disciplined. What does that look like? Maybe it's, I'm the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. Or, I'm the type of person who finishes what they start. Second, prove it to yourself with small, almost laughably easy wins. Want to become a reader? Your goal isn't a book a week. It's 1 page a day. Anyone can read 1 page. By doing that, you're casting a vote for, I'm a reader. Want to be an organized person? Don't try to declutter your entire house. Just make your bed every morning. That tiny action casts a vote for your new identity. This hack short-circuits the need for motivation. It's no longer about forcing an action. It's about reinforcing an identity. You're not just building habits. You're building a new you. 1 small vote at a time. Number 2. Environmental engineering. Make discipline inevitable. The second psychological hack is to accept a simple truth about your brain. It's lazy. Not in a moral sense, but in an energy-saving sense. Your brain's main job is to be as efficient as possible. That means it will always gravitate towards the path of least resistance. This is why, even with the best intentions, the tiniest bit of friction can completely throw you off course. Let's say you decide to start meditating, but in the morning, your yoga mat is in the closet. You can't remember which app you were supposed to use, and you're not sure where to sit. Each of these little hurdles is friction. Your brain, looking for an easy win, sees all this and goes, nope, too much work. Let's just check email. And boom, your new habit is dead before it even started. You've lived this 100 times. You want to eat healthier. But the cookies are on the counter, and the vegetables are in the bottom of the fridge, unwashed and waiting to be chopped. Which one do you think your efficiency-seeking brain is going to grab? You want to hit the gym after work, but your gym clothes are upstairs, and the couch just looks so easy. The path of least resistance always wins. Our mistake is thinking we need more willpower to push through that friction. We think we just need to be stronger. But the pros know that fighting your brain's basic wiring is a losing game. So instead of using brute force, they use a smarter strategy. They engineer their environment to make their goals the path of least resistance. They make discipline the lazy choice. The principle is simple. Increase the friction for habits you want to break, and decrease the friction for habits you want to build. According to B.J. Fogg's behavior model, a behavior happens when motivation, ability, and a prompt all line up. By reducing friction, you jack up your ability to do the thing, which means you need way less motivation to get it done. Let's make this real. Want to go to the gym in the morning? Decrease the friction. Lay out your entire workout outfit the night before. Shoes, socks, shorts, headphones, everything. When the alarm goes off, you don't have to think, you just get dressed. The path of least resistance now leads straight to the gym. Want to eat healthier? Spend an hour on Sunday chopping up veggies and put them in clear containers right at the front of your fridge. When you're hungry, the healthy choice is now the easy choice. At the same time, take the junk food and put it on the highest shelf or in a box in the garage. Out of sight, out of mind. You can still have it, but now it's a pain to get to. That friction is often all it takes for your brain to say, "You know what? Never mind." Want to read more? Don't leave your book on a shelf. Put it on your pillow. When you go to bed, you literally have to touch it to move it. That small design choice removes the friction of having to find your book and decide to read. Want to spend less time on your phone? Increase the friction. Delete the social media apps. You can still get on through the browser, but it's more annoying. Even better, put your phone in a different room when you're working. The urge will still pop up, but the friction of having to get up and walk to another room is a surprisingly powerful deterrent. This flips the whole idea of discipline on its head. It's no longer a test of your inner strength. It's a test of how clever you can be in designing your world. Your environment is shaping your behavior every single day, whether you notice it or not. Undisciplined people are at the mercy of their environment. Disciplined people design it to make success almost inevitable. By the way, if you're already seeing how you can start re-engineering your life for automatic discipline, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out a ton and guarantees you won't miss our future videos. 3. The Discomfort Gym. Train your resilience. This final hack is probably the most counterintuitive one in our modern world, which is completely obsessed with comfort. We have apps to deliver our food, remotes to change the channel, and cars to take us 2 blocks. We have spent generations systematically removing every tiny source of discomfort from our lives. And while that's nice, it comes with a hidden cost. It's made us psychologically fragile. We avoid discomfort at all costs. The second something feels too hard, too boring, or too inconvenient, our instinct is to run back to the comfort of distraction. This is the root cause of procrastination. The problem isn't that the task is impossible. It's that our tolerance for the feeling of discomfort is incredibly low. When we face that natural resistance that comes with any meaningful goal, our brain, being unaccustomed to the strain, just screams, "Abort!" Think of your ability to tolerate discomfort like a muscle. If you never use it, it atrophies. A life lived entirely in your comfort zone gives you a weak discomfort muscle. Then, when life throws a real challenge your way, a tough project, a difficult conversation, a personal setback, you're completely unprepared. You fold at the first sign of real pressure. So the hack is to intentionally train this muscle. It's the practice of voluntary discomfort. The idea, which goes all the way back to Stoic philosophy, is to regularly and purposefully do things that are just a little bit hard or uncomfortable. You're not suffering for the sake of suffering. You're systematically expanding your comfort zone and proving to your brain that you can handle more than you think. It's like a psychological vaccine. You expose yourself to small, controlled doses of stress to build immunity to the big, uncontrolled ones. Neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman have talked about how pushing through self-imposed challenges strengthens the parts of the brain tied to willpower and resilience, like the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. The key is to do something you genuinely don't want to do, and then do it anyway. This recalibrates your entire sense of what's hard. So, how do you take your brain to the discomfort gym? You start with small reps. The most famous example is the cold shower. Nobody wants to take a cold shower. Your body screams, "No!" But by consciously choosing to stay in for just 30 seconds, you are training your mind to override its knee-jerk desire for comfort. You're teaching it that you are in control, not your fleeting feelings. But it doesn't have to be cold showers. Opportunities are everywhere. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Do the dishes by hand instead of using the dishwasher. When you're in line, resist pulling out your phone. Just stand there. It's surprisingly uncomfortable, and it's fantastic training. Leave your headphones at home on your next walk. Just listen to the world. Intentionally pick the parking spot at the far end of the lot. When you're working out and you want to quit, just do one more rep. These things seem tiny, but they are reps for your discomfort muscle. Every time you choose the slightly harder path, you send a powerful signal to your brain. I can handle this. You're building what the Stoics called an inner citadel, a fortress of mental toughness that can't be touched by external chaos. Gradually, what you consider hard starts to change. That tough conversation you've been putting off seems less scary. That big project feels more manageable. Why? Because you've been training for it. You've proved to yourself, day after day, in small ways, that you are the kind of person who moves through discomfort, not away from it. So, the secret to unbreakable discipline has nothing to do with finding a magic shot of motivation or just having more willpower than other people. It's about being smarter, not just trying harder. It's about using the psychology that drives you to your own advantage. It's a three-part system. First, the identity shift. You focus on who you want to become, and you cast votes for that identity with small, consistent wins. Second, environmental engineering. You accept that your brain is lazy, and you rig the game so your good habits are the easiest and most convenient choices. And third, the Discomfort Gym. You intentionally train your resilience by taking on small, voluntary hardships, proving to yourself that you can handle anything. Discipline is not about punishment or self-denial. It is the ultimate form of self-love. It's loving your future self enough to do the hard things today that will give them a better tomorrow. It's not about being perfect. It's about being strategic. It's about starting small, building momentum, and creating a system where discipline is just the automatic result of the person you've decided to be. The power to change is already in you. You just have to unlock it. If this video gave you a new way to think about discipline, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next breakdown. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these 3 hacks are you going to start with first? Are you going to redefine your identity, re-engineer your environment, or start training at the Discomfort Gym? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to hear how you're going to put these ideas to work. Start small, and start now.